The following contains full spoilers for Final Fantasy XIII. Please check the description for more information. Final Fantasy XIII-2 Fragments Before Part 4 Fair and Foul Chapter 3 55 minutes. When Rigday placed his hand on the ID card, the three-dimensional video stopped precisely where Eden's shield was being shown. An Ark is a military facility that was carried up here from Pulse by the Sanctum's Foul Sea. Their armories filled with monsters and weapons. He understood when he heard they were filled with monsters. There was no way Hope would have talked about that. It must have been a place of utmost danger. Just as expected, Rigday went on to say, "It's a training facility for l'Cie." The Foul Sea Bartandalus took Hope and the others to the Ark so they could obtain the strength necessary to destroy Cocoon, he said. "Stop making that face. It wasn't all bad that they were taken to the Ark, because they were able to see the truth there." "The truth?" "It wasn't just monsters that were waiting for them inside of the Ark." "Who else, you ask?" "Why, it was the cavalry's commander, Brigadier General Rains, of course." As Rigday continued to explain, his expression darkened. "He was a Sanctum l'Cie. The Brigadier General's focus was to aid the Pulse l'Cie. Though they were l'Cie, had there not been someone else pulling the strings, they probably wouldn't have been able to continue running as well as they had. You can clearly tell just how much military force they put into the operation through what you see here." At the same time, he could see the reasons behind why Hope and the others hadn't realized there had been someone guiding them behind the scenes. There was no way they had time to think things over whilst being chased across Cocoon all day and night. "So it was attack them mercilessly on one front, and then prepare escape routes on the other, huh? You're wondering why would the Foul Sea bother to do something in such a roundabout way, aren't you?" "It was because the Foul Sea couldn't destroy Cocoon," he said. It seemed that Foul Sea couldn't hurt themselves or hurt what they were protecting either. Through the eyes of humans who were capable of both, the fact that the almighty Foul Sea weren't capable of such a thing was quite intriguing. But because of the Foul Sea Bartandalus attempting to use such an elaborate method to guide the Pulse l'Cie and have them destroy Cocoon, he would sacrifice all of the inhabitants of Cocoon to bring the gods back to the world. It was equally curious that the Foul Sea they revered as gods would themselves seek the gods. That was also the truth. "It's absurd," spat Rigday. The absurdity itself is the truth they were met with within the Ark. "Absolutely. I too thought it was absurd when I heard about it from Hope." "Right? It's outrageously idiotic." As a consequence of that idiocy, many lives were lost at the hanging edge. My wife died for that absurdity. That is precisely why Brigadier General Rains went to the Ark. If he defeated Lightning and the others, Bartandalus's plan would fall through. The Brigadier General sought to stop the destruction of Cocoon, even if it meant going against his own focus. "But don't you become a Seath if you don't fulfill your focus?" At any rate, Brigadier General Rains shouldn't have been a Seath at the time. He had become the new Primarch after that. After he was defeated by Lightning and company, he turned into Crystal, not a Seath. "Does it mean his focus had been something else?" "I wonder. That could be true. Or it could be he defied his focus as a l'Cie, using the free will he had as a human. Nobody knows the truth. No matter what the case was, those were the last moments of the human Cid Rains." Rigday's voice sounded a little like it was cracking, but he pretended he didn't notice. "The truth they faced inside the Ark, huh? So with that, they made up their minds to go down to Pulse, then." "That's how it was." He had heard of the days they spent journeying through Grand Pulse in search of a way to solve the curse of the l'Cie. Even though there was no Psycom in sight, they still couldn't afford to rest, he said. There were ferocious monsters unparalleled by those of Cocoon, and the inexorable advancing of their brands. Hope didn't say any more than that, so they must have been days filled with desperation and uneasiness. The Erba they finally reached was already in ruins, and gave them no hints whatsoever. How disheartened they must have been. "If they had given up there, both you and I would be on the other side." Even if Hope and the others had turned into Seath someplace else, Bartandalus would probably have promptly thought up another scenario. That was something his almighty self was capable of. That's why the l'Cie chose to defeat Bartandalus. So, Lightning and the others returned to Cocoon, right in the midst of a festival, of all times. Rigday shrugged his shoulders exaggeratedly and resumed the paused video.